you for joining us today. I'm so happy you agreed to be interviewed. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Milwaukee Tool?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Grace. Really appreciate the time and you guys doing this. We've been engaged with CMU for a couple of years now and really looking forward to growing our relationship as a platinum partner with you guys. So yeah, a little bit about myself. So my name is Ryan Jipp. I'm a director of the Power Tool technology team here at Milwaukee Tool. So I've been with Milwaukee for about 12 years now. I started right out of school. My background is electrical engineering, and I've had various different roles. And right now my team focuses on upfront technology, working with startups and universities and large suppliers, basically to find new technologies and bring them into production for our company.
Great. Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about Milwaukee Tool as well?
Absolutely, yeah. So Milwaukee Tool is a solutions provider for basically users on job sites. So it's anything from power tools to accessories to hand tools to lighting. So our goal is basically to provide, from when a user wakes up to when they go to bed at night, all the solutions that they need to be productive on the job site. We make professional tools. So these are for people that work on power tools or work with power tools, every day, all day. I have a very strong focus for being a professional.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to work at Milwaukee Tools and what brought you into this business?
Yeah, so actually, I wasn't looking for a job when I started at Milwaukee Tool. I actually had a job at a different company out of school. I had an internship with them for a couple of years, and I was working on the Formula Hybrid senior design team at my university. And I needed some batteries. So I came into Milwaukee Tool begging them for some power tool batteries because I wanted to take some for our car that we were building. And the moment I stepped in the door, I just became, completely blown away with what was going inside of the company. And I said, I need to work here. I have to work for this company. And the rest is history. So
That's awesome. It seems like you really enjoyed it since you've been there for 12 years at this point.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. For people who don't really know that much about Milwaukee Tools, can you explain a little bit about the company culture? How would you describe it?
Yeah. So company culture for us is like the number one thing that we focus on. So, every time you hear our president speak, every time you hear, the executives talk in meetings, it's culture, culture, culture. It's something that, is directly attributed to the success we've had as a company is our culture. We break it down into 5 different culture phrases. It's candid, which is really the moment you walk in the door, even as a young engineer or a young salesperson or somebody like that, you should be able to speak your mind to anyone in the company at any time. It's obsessed. That means basically you focus on doing what's right. You focus on driving for the next steps. You focus on doing whatever it takes to get what you need done. It's speed, agility, and urgency, which is again that drive. Agility is really focused on if I have to get from point A to point B and take side steps to get there, how do I go around? And there's no excuses for finding stuff in your way, and you always have to find a way to get there. Never settling, always improving. So again, that is basically trying to go after the next generation of product, the next improvement on something. Look at something even as old as a screwdriver. When we come out with a new screwdriver, we have 11 patents on it because we apply so much innovation to it. So it's always, what can we do to make stuff better, to make stuff safer, to make it more productive for our users? And the last is empowered leaders. So again, even as a new engineer or a new employee, we expect you to be highly empowered to take projects on day one, to be responsible on day one, to take your own problems, drive your own solutions. So it's all those 5 culture phrases together that really drive us to be successful in our company.
It seems like from the conception of Milwaukee Tools, innovation and progress improvement has been a really large focus. Can you talk a little bit about how Milwaukee Tools will be improving in the future in terms of sustainability?
Absolutely. So from a sustainability standpoint, we have a full corporate government. So we do all of our production through our development, all the way out into our products in the field. We have a strong focus on sustainability. So, examples of that are we're partnered with a company called Call to Recycle. It's one of the biggest lithium-ion battery recycling companies in the United States. So our users can basically call up a number, and then we actually pay to get the batteries back to ensure that they're environmentally friendly, recycled. And then we take those materials and actually eventually then turn into new batteries as they go forward. So it's that we sit on standard boards like the PTI. We have community impact, volunteering, and all sorts of different things like that. So it's very important for us to, from start to finish, be a sustainable company.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear that. On that same note, does your company have any commitments to inclusion and diversity?
Absolutely. We're highly focused on inclusion and diversity, and it's not something that's been new for us. It's been something that's been a long-term focus. We're members of NSBE, SHPE, SHIP, SWE, the Society of Women's Engineers. We have full campus, so we have that at a corporate level, then we have campus engagement at over 20 schools. And that's one of my focuses this year. As I mentioned before, we're relatively new on Carnegie Mellon's campus. So one of my focuses this year is to dive deeper into Carnegie Mellon and focus with those groups as well as many other groups on campus, because it's something that is very important for us to drive diversity and inclusion.
When did you start this partnership with Carnegie Mellon, and why bring it up now?
Yeah, so we started about 2 years ago. This is our second year, and it's been crazy to see the growth and passion. We've hired very successfully from a lot of schools, but we've been growing and expanding so much and hiring so many people that we needed to find new schools. And Carnegie Mellon has the best and brightest students in the United States, even the world. So it was an obvious place for us to come and chase after. So we came here a couple of years ago, started looking around, had an awesome time engaging with the faculty and staff, and especially the students that we've been finding and recruiting. It's just been an awesome time for us to grow. Last year, we hired a couple people, and this year we basically went almost 10 times more from what we were last year for the amount of offers we gave out. So it's been crazy to just see our growth, and every year we expect to hire more and more from this school. So.
Do your internships often lead to full-time offers? And if you have any numbers on what is the rate of conversion, could you please provide that for us?
Yeah, we strive to get 100% of our internships converted into full-time offers. For us, it's the easiest way to recruit, right? It's very advantageous for us to, find somebody, help them learn what we do, help them get passionate about what we do. And then, when they come in full-time day one, they already know where everything is and how to be effective at their job. So it gets them very effective on day one. So yeah, we're very selective in our internship process, and we try to convert 100% of our interns into full-time. So it's very rare that we don't offer an internship, a full-time for an internship.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of CMU students are very happy to hear that. I'm a little bit interested about your personal experience. Can you tell me about one project that has stood out to you during your time at Milwaukee Tools?
Yeah, I think maybe alongside of that, I think maybe it's good to explain a little bit of my career path, because that's just been a crazy experience that I think is very unique. I've been at Milwaukee Tool for about 12 years, and a lot of people say, my friends and family are like, why have you been at the same company for so long? Why don't you go off and try a different company, try a different opportunity? But I have changed positions maybe 8 or 10 times, all being in the same company. I started in working in power electronics, then I switched to motor design, then I went to project leadership for switch development, then I went over to Asia. I lived in China and Hong Kong for about 4 years, managing teams over there. So I did motors leadership over there. I did value engineering and product support. I actually changed and was the operations director for a machining company over there for a while. Then came back and I learned battery technology and focused on battery technology, then expanded to batteries and motors. And then now I have batteries, motors, and electronics. So my background is electrical engineering, and that's all within the same company. I've switched roles, gone to places where I'm completely unqualified, where I don't have a background in that. But the awesome thing about Milwaukee Tool is they're just passionate about giving you the next opportunity, letting you go if it's something you want to do, and helping you to be successful in all those different places you go. So it's really been an awesome ride through all these different places to get me where I am now, but even to where I'm going to go in the next few roles that I don't even know. We'll see. So.
That's really cool to hear, especially knowing that a lot of employers right now are focusing on recruiting for soft skills as well as communication skills, even in more technically heavy positions. Is leadership something that people can get involved in really frequently inside Milwaukee Tools? And how much do you think leadership affects how people are able to perform inside the company?
Yeah, leadership is highly important for us. So we try to promote all of our leadership internally. It's rare that we hire external leadership. So if you're a new engineer and as a new engineer you've been working for a couple of years and you're starting to show that prowess for wanting to take on new challenges, to even whether it's people leadership or project leadership or problem leadership, trying to find solutions to something, and it's something that you want to do, we'll absolutely embrace that and give you the opportunity to go try that out. So as a young engineer, young employee, as you're coming in, you absolutely get those opportunities to be quickly promoted into a leadership position, and then have future growth beyond that as you get more and more.
Okay, thank you. Um, Inside the industry, what are the most important strengths of Milwaukee Tool? Can you talk about core strengths as well as how has your company made changes in the past few years to adapt to new industries and new environments?
Absolutely. So, for us, it all starts with our focus on the user. So, we look at what the end user is doing on the job site, what their problems are, and what do they need. And what that means is, they've had a lot of these products for years and years, but we still continue to find innovative ways to change them, to improve on them, to completely throw out a product and invent a completely new one. So it comes back inside the company with a strong investment into technology. So we are highly profitable as a company, and we take that money and we reinvest it into people, into equipment, into rapid prototyping facilities. So I'll show you a quick rapid prototyping facility. We have one of the biggest facilities in the Midwest. So all the equipment behind me here is all for prototyping capability. So we make hundreds of thousands of prototype parts a year, and all this equipment gets invested back just for the engineers to tinker around with. So as an engineer on day one, you can start submitting parts to the shop, get them out, tinker around with them, take them out to the user, play around. So it's really, that the focus on the user, the technology, the investment back into the business, and that's what really makes us a strong company.
Great. In terms of upcoming trends, which ones do you think will have a large impact on your company?
Yeah, so a good segue to that. We've kind of we've looked at a couple of different transitions, and it comes back to the sustainability piece. So we started with kind of low efficiency brushed motors, and we've moved to brushless motors, which were higher efficiency and better energy usage. Lately, we've been cutting the cord on all corded products, so things that plug into the wall. We've created battery technology solutions and motor solutions to basically continue to drive innovation around that. And then most recently, we've been focusing on, this is our MX product line, we've been focusing on actually getting rid of gas engines on the job site. So gas engines are dirty and smelly and not very environmentally friendly. So we basically created battery level solutions to get the gas products, so the 5 horsepower, 3 horsepower engines off of job sites and replace them with battery products. So we keep entering market segments like this where we'll find something where it's just not a good solution for the user, but they're just accepting it, and we come in and completely revolutionize it. So we did it in lighting. Job site lighting about maybe 5 years ago was all those really hot halogen lights that broke really easily. Tons of them got thrown away, and there was no innovation in it. We came in, partnered with LED companies in our battery technology, and created all new battery LED powered lights. That's what's actually lighting me up here. So we have a whole LED solution that's longer lasting. It ends up being cheaper for the user at the end of the day because they're not throwing away so much stuff. It's more environmentally friendly. It ends up being significantly more productive with all the features and things that you can add to it. So just continue to take over job site segments like that, one after the other.
That's awesome. Also, for competitors are inside your industry, what sets you guys apart from those people?
Yeah, so there's a lot of large competitors in our industry, but really what sets us apart is our strong focus on driving innovation with that user. A lot of our other competitors are kind of intermingled with consumer grade and professional grade together, where they'll try to cut corners with cost and kind of be more of a consumer products company at the end of the day. And they'll make decisions like, we can only have one or two different motor designs that have to be spread across all the different products we make because we're a large company and we don't want flexibility. And at the end of the day, we don't like that because it doesn't give the best product. We want to, if we create a new product, we can create an entire new motor from scratch just for that one product. Even though it may cost us a little bit more, it's exactly what the user needs and it's a better product at the end of the day. So we're willing to create custom designs. We're willing to differentiate products. We're willing to step outside the comfort bounds of being this large corporate conglomerate and really focus on a solution at the end of the day that makes the user happy and ends up being the best product.
Work at Milwaukee Tool. What do you think Milwaukee Tool looks for in students during recruitment?
Absolutely. So, when you go to make your resume, everybody has those same projects and classes. So that's one of the first things that employers tend to just glance over and say, even GPA, it's one of those things where, there's always a story behind a GPA. That's not the first thing I focus on. Honestly, to me, I'm more excited to see that, you created an automatic locking mechanism for your dorm room, or you were part of Build 18. I really like to see your curiosity and your hands-on approach. Working with us, it's a very hands-on company. There's a lot of time in the labs. There's a lot of time fiddling around with things, cobbling up different prototypes or, making sure broken things get fixed and stuff like that. So I really like to see that hands-on aptitude and the desire to, try to go a little bit above and beyond what is the normal at school. And that's what really gets you to stand out on a resume.
What kind of positions were you involved in at school before you came into your role at Milwaukee Tool?
Yeah, so I did a lot of different extracurricular activities. I did the Formula Hybrid team at my school. I was involved in helping some younger students kind of get deeper into electrical engineering and learn some of the background behind that. I was involved in some volunteer efforts around in the community. And it was those things that really helped, I feel, for me to stand out as I was kind of entering the doors into Milwaukee Tool.
Do most people come into an internship position, say their junior year, with previous internship experience? Or would you say that's not exactly necessary if they have extracurriculars that can speak to their ability and competence?
Yeah, I would say it's not required to have a previous internship. There's always different situations. Like right now with COVID ongoing, there were some freshmen that didn't get an internship, and then COVID hit, and then it's a sophomore that didn't get an internship because of COVID. So it's always that story. What I like to see is if you didn't have an internship, what else did you do in that time? If the story was, hey, I just kind of sat around and did nothing, maybe not so interesting. If it's, I got a job at a pizza place, to me, it shows initiative, right? It's, you're doing something, you're out there trying to find some sort of opportunity, even though it's not directly related to, engineering or something like that, it still shows you have that drive. So definitely not required to have past experience. It for sure helps, but, to me, it's all about the story and the communication that goes behind it.
Beyond just the resume, the GPA, the extracurriculars, how do students make themselves stand out during the recruitment process itself?
Yeah, so beyond the resume, it comes down to the communication that we have when you start to do the interview process, whether it's in person or virtual. We look for strong communicators. So again, our core values are communicating, empowering leaders. So we want people that can basically communicate well, that can go talk to a project leader, can go talk to a marketing person, that can express a problem to executive management in a clear way. So we're really looking for people that have that communication and future leadership style that we think we can grow into future leaders of the company.
How do you separate your work life from your home life?
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy now with COVID ongoing, but I really love the outdoors. So I spend a ton of time outdoors. So I do boating, I go mountain biking. Wisconsin's an awesome place. We're located in Milwaukee here. Wisconsin is an awesome place, similar to Pittsburgh, where in the summertime, you've got a lot of really cool activities that you can go do. There's even some ski hills around here that you can go ski. So I really like to go do that. I like to go spend time outdoors, fishing, things like that.
So you're more of a skiing person than a snowboarding person?
Absolutely. I love skiing. Yeah. I've never learned how to snowboard, so maybe I'll try someday, but yeah. I'm
There
pretty
seems
awesome.
like a bit of competition between those two types of people. I'm a skier too, though, so
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
What career advice would you give to your younger self?
Yeah. I think looking back, I tried to always feel like I had the answers and I was confident and I just needed to kind of grow and then I would know everything. And there's a famous, psychological thing called the imposter syndrome, right? Where, so I'm a director at the company. I must know everything. But at the end of the day, I have that same thing where I feel like I don't know everything and I'm slightly an imposter and maybe I'm not qualified at my job. But, looking where I am now and looking back, I just kind of tell myself to just chill. Like, you'll never have it all figured out. It's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to look something up. Surround yourself with smart people, surround yourself with a capable team, and you can all figure it out together and just don't worry about it. So,
Do you say that you have any famous, okay, I'm going off script. I'm
sure, yeah.
off script here, but have there been any books that you say really changed your philosophy towards work and towards career?
Yeah, one of my favorite books is Radical Candor. I really enjoy that. That's really focused on really strong communication, but I would say in a respectful way. So it kind of comes back to our culture traits. It's being able to, when it matters, completely say exactly what's on your mind, what needs to be said, what's best for the company, even saying that somebody else is wrong. And then that person and you still need to have a respectful relationship at the end of the day. You still need to work together and you still need to move on to the next steps. Things like disagreeing, but still committing to move to the next steps, are important in that. So yeah, I think that's a really cool book that I've read. There's quite a few, if you're looking for, management books, there's quite a few good ones out there, but that one's one of my favorite.
Yeah, that question was totally for my own purposes.
Sure, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Aside from your current role, if money and time wasn't an issue, what job do you think you would be really good at?
So I would like to be like a travel critic, even or a traveling food critic. When I lived over in Asia for about 4 years, and me and my family traveled a ton while we were over there. We visited almost 25 different countries. And I really enjoy visiting places that are uncomfortable, that have different cultures, completely different people. That, I grew up in a small town. I was a farm boy from Iowa, actually. So I grew up in a small town in Iowa. And to, walk downtown Bangkok and just have the chaos and emotion and food and smell and vibrant colors and things like that. It's just really cool to me. To just see the different cultures and people and things like that. So I'd really like to go do that and just kind of travel the world, try different foods, meet different people, learn people's stories, and just kind of get deeper and deeper into the culture, things like that. So
When you were talking about your management book, I actually was curious to see how that's affected your work at Milwaukee Tool. Do you think that Milwaukee really has a good culture of communicating between people of different managing levels? And what is like the power hierarchy like there?
absolutely, it's something that our president, the first couple weeks that you're joining our company, he'll have a meeting with you and give you exactly what I'm going to say now. We don't have an hierarchy at Milwaukee Tool. Yeah, you have a manager who has a manager who has a manager, but if you need to say something to somebody in the company, you just go say it. You just go tell them what needs to be said. your manager doesn't have the right, capability or power to get something done, you go just directly to their manager. And the middle managers and things like that are fully okay with that happening. You don't need to follow the A to B to C to D hierarchy that it goes. We just don't have any of that at the company. Everyone just goes to who you need to talk to. You get what you need to done. There isn't that surrounding corporate, kind of overlording that goes on. It's very clear cut and it's very simple. You just get what you need to done, and everybody helps each other out. So.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I learned a lot from this interview, and I'm hoping the other students listening also did. Thank you to Milwaukee Tool as well for being a platinum partner of the CPDC for the past 2 years, and we wish you all the best.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Let me know if there's any follow-ups for anything. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing. I'll keep an eye on LinkedIn. We'll go from there.
Do you have any contact information that you would like to share with students in case they want to reach out?
Yeah, for sure. So, if you're interested in a job, we're always hiring. So even if it's off the standard, the on-campus recruiting timing of spring or fall, for sure reach out, milwaukeetool.jobs. So come onto our website. You can just go to milwaukeetool.com and scroll down to the bottom, or just go to milwaukeetool.jobs. We have tons of positions open. We're looking for a lot of engineers, so electrical, software, mechanical engineers, but also we look for a ton of people in the MIPS program, in sales and marketing programs. So across the board, there's always tons of positions opening. We're always growing and always expanding. So feel free to reach out there. Otherwise, you're welcome to look me up on LinkedIn. So you can look me up, Ryan Jipp, and add me on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with you. And if you want to chat, feel free to set up some time, and I'm happy to reach out and learn more about what you want to do and where you want to go. Even if it's not Milwaukee Tool, I'm happy to just talk through things and give you any advice if I have anything to give you, I guess. So.
Thank you so much for your time. We'll speak to you again, hopefully soon.